Hello students, I S. Anoja, PGT Bio from KV1 Rewa, welcomes you all in today's session of your biology class 10th chapter, that is life process. Friends, in the previous topic we have discussed about various aspects of life, that is alive. How can I say organism is alive or not alive? We have also discussed about the various types of life processes which is performed by the living organism. Today's class is especially designed for the process of photosynthesis. In today's class, we are going to learn about the mechanism of photosynthesis, what are the requirements of photosynthesis, a very important process which is performed by all the autotrophic organism. Maybe it is a bacteria, a single cell organism, or maybe it is a multicellular organism like plants, angiosperms, gymnosperms. So all the members of kingdom Plantae are performing photosynthesis, and that's why they are termed as autotroph. Well, in today's session, before starting the process of photosynthesis, let us see the continuity of our series. As I told you, in this chapter we are going to cover 4 important aspects. We are right now studying the first aspect, and that is nutrition. In nutrition also, the topic is divided into 2 sections, autotroph and heterotrophic nutrition. And now we are going to discuss about autotrophic nutrition. Right? Yes. So, if I am not wrong, this was my last slide of the previous lecture. Let me start my topic from here only. We all know photosynthesis is a very important process performed by all the autotrophic organism. And if I tell you that what is the ultimate source of energy? Yes, sun is the ultimate source of energy. We all know. And photosynthesis is the only process which convert light energy to chemical energy, or more biologically I should say light energy to biochemical energy. It is a process of conversion of solar light, the energy of a sun, to the biomolecules, and these biomolecules either in the form of carbohydrate and all is available to all living organisms. Hence, plants are not only responsible as a green lungs, they are not only responsible for providing us pure oxygen and purifying air, but they are also responsible because they are the first member which convert light energy to biochemical energy. Okay, now as far as definition is concerned, I already explained you in the previous lecture, but let us have a quick recap of this definition. It is a biochemical process of manufacturing organic food from carbon dioxide and water with the help of solar energy. With the help of solar energy in chlorophyll containing cells. So here the key important points in this definition are: it is a biochemical process. It is a huge process. Now we are going to understand, in today's session we are going to focus on what type of biochemical process it is. And it is responsible for synthesis of organic food. As far as organic food for the plants are concerned, they are glucose, and this glucose is stored in the form of starch. This also I have explained you in the previous topic, that in the plants stored food material is starch, and for the animals stored food material is glycogen. Very good. And it also liberates oxygen gas as a side product. It liberates oxygen gas. This oxygen gas, why it is called as a side product or byproduct? We can say it as a side product, or we can also say it as a byproduct. Byproduct. What do you mean by byproduct? Byproduct means the product which is formed and that product is not used by that particular organism. Okay, so whenever we are discussing about a chemical reaction, madam has beautifully explained all the stages of a chemical reaction, if you remember chapter number 1 of your chemistry, and she explained you that byproduct means it is a side product. Okay, that product which is not used for any chemical equation. So this oxygen is very vital for us, very vital for animals. But whenever we are talking about the plants, this oxygen is not used by the plant. And that's why for plant they are side product or byproduct. As far as equation of carbon dioxide is equation of photosynthesis is concerned, we can have a look that here carbon dioxide when react with water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, it will provide sugar, that is glucose, and it liberates water as well as oxygen. So here oxygen is coming as a byproduct. Why I am emphasizing on this topic? Because this is a very important question again. Most of the students think that oxygen, how it could be a byproduct? It is a very important product. No organism can live without oxygen. But for plant it is not so. For plant it is not so. So here 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, as you can see, react with 12 molecules of water in the presence of a kitchen. That kitchen is nothing but it is a chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll traps solar energy, and in the presence of this it forms sugar, water and oxygen. The sugar is stored, the water comes out in the form of transpiration, and oxygen also comes out from stomata in the form of transpiration. This equation, which is mentioned in one line, we are going to discuss about this equation in much detailed way. And you will surprise to know that though it is an equation of one line, but this process is not completed in a very simple way. But it is a very complex process and which require multiple enzymes and biochemical processes. So let us see what are the processes which takes place in the photosynthesis. But before that, let us talk about what are the raw materials which is required for performing this process. Basically, see, it is a very simple process. Actually, whenever we are cooking something, suppose my guest is going to come to my home, definitely now it is a time it is a time era of corona, so nobody is interested to call the guests at a home. But suppose this definitely human being, most of the scientists are working on the vaccine, and we will get the vaccine also. So suppose you call some guest after this all tragedies are over, then you call some guest to your home. But definitely whenever your guest is coming, either for your birthday party or for your any other, your parents' birthday party or whatsoever, so definitely before coming to the guest, before the party begins, you have to do a lot of homework. You have to set your room, you have to cook delicious foods, you have to brought some very delicious or yummy items from the market. So these are the preparatory stages. Okay, so it is now what we are discussing, it is the time before the party. That is, it is the time before the photosynthesis, and then the party begins. So the first important raw material which is required, there are 4 important raw materials which are required. Okay, let me tell you. First one is chlorophyll, then second one is carbon dioxide, important gas, then it is sunlight, very important product, and then it is water. So these 4 processes, these 4 raw materials are required for starting up the process of photosynthesis, right? Now in this topic I am discussing the same thing, that how they are important. First one is chlorophyll. As the name indicates, chloro and phyll. There are various types of pigment. Pigment means color. In your blood, which pigment is present? Very good. That is hemoglobin, which provide you red color, which provide the color of the blood as a red. So in the plants, there is a pigment, or there are group of pigments, various pigments are there, and these pigments are responsible for trapping of solar energy. So if I compare this whole process to your kitchen, these chlorophylls are acting as your LPG gas cylinder. Okay, why? Because whatever you are going to cook for the party, remember the party in your brain. Okay, after my class, just go and have a small party and get together in your family only. Don't go outside. So the most important thing is the LPG gas. The first thing is gas should be there, because whatever raw material you bring, you need the fuel to cook. Okay. Similarly, plants have the green color pigment, green color pigment molecules, and these molecules are called as chlorophyll. Chloro means green, and phyll means leaves. Okay, biology is the science of terms. If you understand the term, definitely you are going to succeed in your topic, right? So chlorophylls are the green color pigment which are present. Where they are present? Yes, they are present in the leaves. They are present in the leaves, and that is acting as in the main kitchen where the process of photosynthesis will be cooked. Okay, due to chlorophyll only, the plants are green. Due to chlorophyll only, the earth is also known as a green planet, right? Beside chlorophyll, there are some other pigments also which perform the process of photosynthesis. Suppose carotenes are there. If you talk about carrot is red in color. Why? Because it has carotene. Or you have seen various different type of colorful leaves also. Okay, carotene is there, xanthophylls are there, phycoerythrins are there. So variety of pigments are there, but these all things are not in your class 10. So that's why I am only focusing on the one pigment which is very important pigment, which is primary pigment, and which is mentioned in your syllabus, and that is chlorophyll. Right. So now only I told you that chloro means green. So they are green in color, right? And phyll means leaves. So where in the leaves these chlorophylls are present? For understanding that where the chlorophylls are present, just see this diagram. If you take a normal leaf, you know very well plants are of monocot and dicot, but if you take a normal dicot leaf, okay, you take a leaf, what you will find that its upper surface is darker green and its lower surface is lighter green. Just our hand. The upper surface of our hand is darker in color and the palm structure is lighter in color. Similarly, the leaves upper surface is darker green and lower surface is lighter green. Why so? This is just because of arrangement of the tissues. Okay, so if you talk about the longitudinal section of leaf, longitudinal section means if you cut the leaf into longitudinal in this way. Okay, so for example, if this is a leaf, if you cut the leaf in this way, it is called as transverse section. If you cut the leaves perpendicular, it is longitudinal section. So if you cut the leaf perpendicularly and just a small portion of this is only shown, right? So it is upper surface and lower surface, it is covered by a layer that is called as a cuticle, right? On the top, as you can see, this is cuticle, the upper surface. This is the upper surface. Similarly, here the lower surface. So both the surfaces are Both the surfaces are covered by a special structure that is called as a cuticle. After that, here you can see the one layer, this layer, and this layer also. These two layers are termed as epidermis. Okay, this is called as upper epidermis and this is called as lower epidermis. Okay, now let me explain you again. Epi means up. Derma means layer. So these are the epidermis which provide the function of covering. In 9th class also you have studied about various types of tissues. In animal tissues you have studied about epithelial cells. Okay, similarly in the plants there are epidermis tissues. These tissues are responsible for packing and these tissues are responsible for protection also. Right? Then you will find some important long structures, the cells you are finding here. As you can see from here to here, these cells. These cells are called as parenchyma cells. Parenchyma cells. Basically, there are two types of parenchyma. One is called as a palisade parenchyma, another one is called as a spongy parenchyma. But again, this is longitudinal cells which is normally called as parenchyma tissues. And if in this cells you will see a large vacuum. Are you seeing this gap? This one, or here, this one, or here, this one. These all are the larger vacuoles. And the small dot-like structure which is present in the center, it is nothing but it is the nucleus. And this portion and this portion you will find it is light green in color. So here, these peripheral part is the cytoplasmic part, and this cytoplasm are rich in chloroplast. Remember, in class 9th we have studied about chloroplast. These are the organelles which are responsible for storage of chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is a pigment which is present in the chloroplast, right? We will discuss now what is chloroplast, and these chloroplasts are present in the parenchymatous tissues, right? Similarly, so since these tissues are closely packed, that's why the upper surface of leaf appear to be more green. Just below that, you will find these type of tissues. These are called as mesophyll or loose mesophyll tissues. They are termed as loose mesophyll tissues. Why they are called as loose? Because you will find there are plenty of air gap. This is the air gap. Here also, here you can see it's an air gap. Here it is air gap. Here it is air gap. So these all are they are not compactly packed. Now you can compare the packing of this tissue and these tissues. Here the packing is very tight and here the packing is very loose. Okay, here also you will find a large vacuum, you will find a nucleus and you will find a green color periphery. This green color periphery again contain chloroplast and these chloroplasts contain chlorophyll which perform photosynthesis. Right. Moreover, in the center you can see this structure. This structure is called as a vascular bundle. Vascular bundle, that means those tissues which are responsible for vascularization, that is transportation. Right, for transportation, what are the tissues which are present in the plants? Yes, that is xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem are packed here. This is xylem. This portion is xylem and this portion is phloem. So xylem and phloem are packed compact which is present in this sequence. Right. Well, one more important structure I would like to discuss here is the small openings. The lower epidermis has small openings. As you can see, this is the upper epidermis. Upper epidermis is continued. But if you talk about the lower epidermis has some gap. And these gaps are termed as stomata. There are some gaps. And these gaps are the opening in the epidermal tissues, right? And these small openings are called as stomata. These stomata are responsible for exchange of gases like carbon dioxide or oxygen. They are also responsible for transportation of water. So that we will discuss in next part. Okay, so this is a longitudinal section of a leaf. Well, the question remains that okay, now we understand that chloroplasts are present. Chloroplasts are present in the parenchymatous tissues, palisade parenchyma or mesophyll tissues. What is the structure of chloroplast? Though you already studied this in your class 9, but let me again little bit highlight the structure, because where the chlorophyll is present, that is very important to understand. Chlorophyll is a molecule. It is present in some structure. That structure is called as chloroplast. So, chloro and plast. Chloro means green color structure and plast means a bounded structure. Okay, a bounded structure, that is called as chloroplast. So if you take a section of, this is the structure of a chloroplast. If you take a section of the chloroplast, what you will find, it has outer membrane, it has inner membrane. So it is bilayered membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. Just inner membrane, just near to the inner membrane, it has the plasma. As you can see here, this color structure, the grey color structure. These structures are termed as stroma. The jelly-like structure which is filled in the chloroplast, that is called as stroma. And this stroma has various coin-like structures, as you can see here. Coin-like bundles. Here also, coin-like bundles. Here also, here also. So these are the coin-like bundle. If you take a coin and keep a bundle of the coin, how it appears? Okay, so that one bundle is termed as granum. One bundle is termed as granum. And this granum, it is the bundle of the coin. One coin from the bundle, it is called as thylakoid. Okay, so if you see this, just here taken the section, if you see this, okay, this structure is termed as thylakoid. So let me draw it again here. So suppose this is one coin, this is another coin, this is another coin, and like that. This one coin is known as thylakoid. Right? And these thylakoid structures are the site where chlorophyll is present. Right? So now I make myself more specific. Where the chlorophylls are present? Chlorophylls are present in thylakoid. Where the thylakoids are present? Thylakoids are present in granum. Where the granums are present? Granum is present in, floating in stroma. Where all these structures are present? Chloroplast. Where chloroplast is present? Mesophyll tissues. And hence mesophyll tissues are acting as a site for photosynthesis, and that's why leaves are green, perform photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the first important requirement of photosynthesis, and this is the structure of longitudinal section of leaf. It is also mentioned in your book. So go through your NCERT label diagram. All the diagrams are very important, especially whenever we are studying biology. Okay, and then include all these points in your notes, right? So one more structure I forget to highlight here. Two more structures, and that is the thread-like structures. The thread-like structures which you can see here. blue color thread-like structures. These thread-like structures are nothing but they are the chloroplast DNA. Okay, and the red color dot, these are red color dot which you can see. These red color dots are nothing but they are ribosomes. Okay, just because of DNA and ribosomes, chloroplast is also termed as semi-autonomous organelle. Remember, beyond nucleus, except nucleus, there are two organelles where DNA or genetic material is present. First one is mitochondria and second one is chloroplast. Okay, and they are semi-autonomous, right? They can synthesize their proteins by itself by use of DNA and ribosomes. Okay. So if we talk about the process of photosynthesis that we will talk, right? So just here in the chloroplast, this is the thylakoidal membrane, and this thylakoidal membrane, this is the thylakoidal membrane, thylakoid, and these thylakoids are the process for trapping of light energy. This thylakoid trap light energy and produce various energy molecules, that is ATP and NADPH. Okay, so just to show you where the process takes place, I have drawn this, right? And this explanation we will do in next slide, right? The second important raw material is carbon dioxide. Very simple, also termed as the molecular formula of CO2, carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is essential for the process of starch synthesis, for the process of glucose synthesis. If you see the equation, it is CO2 plus H2O gives you C6H12O6. Okay. Again the question arises, from where the plant will get carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is a gas and it can only be transported or uptaken by the plant through the small pores. At the lower surface of the leaf, now only we have discussed, few openings are there. The epidermis is not continuous, lower epidermis is not continuous. Okay, so this is suppose upper epidermis is continuous, but the lower epidermis, it has some gap, right? And this gap has pores, and these pores are called as stomata, which are present at the lower surface of leaf. These stomata are the site for gaseous exchange as well as transpiration. During this gaseous exchange only, carbon dioxide is taken up by the plant. Usually, stomata remain open in day and closes in night. It opens in day and closes in night. So, carbon dioxide is inhaled by plant in day, right? Okay. So, this stomata, let us first of all discuss the structure of stomata and then we will go for the functioning of stomata, right? If you see the fine detailed structure, this is a stomata, right? This stomata, this is the central part, the opening what you can see, this opening is termed as stomata. This opening or stoma means opening. This stoma is covered by two cells, as you can see, two kidney shaped cells, two bean shaped cells. These kidney shaped or bean shaped cells are termed as guard cells. Guard cells. Okay, let me write here. Guard cells. They are responsible for guarding. Guarding means protection. And these guard cells are responsible for regulation of opening and closing of stomata. In daytime it opens, in night time it closes. In daytime it opens, in night time it closes. So the opening, the central opening is called as stoma, and this stoma, this opening is guarded by, regulated by two cells, a pair of cells. These pair of cells are termed as guard cells. Right? Well, and now if we talk about the detailed structure of guard cell, this is again very important. You can see here, it is a bean-shaped structure having two membranes, the inner membrane and the outer membrane. The inner membrane is thick cell wall and the outer membrane is thin cell wall. The inner one is thick and outer one is thin. Inside that you can find the blue color structure. These are nothing but they are the vacuoles, and also you could able to find these structures, the small structures like this. These small plenty of structures are nothing but it is the chloroplast, and that is very important difference. Remember, guard cells are the only epidermal cells which contain chloroplast. Otherwise, no cell of upper epidermis or lower epidermis has chloroplast. क्लोरोप्लास्ट जो है वो केवल गार्ड सेल में ही मिलता है. अपर एपिडर्मिस और लोअर एपिडर्मिस के किसी भी सेल में क्लोरोप्लास्ट नहीं मिलता. ठीक है, ये एक बहुत ही डिस्टिंग्विश फीचर है जिसके कारण गार्ड सेल्स जो है वो एपिडर्मल सेल से डिस्टिंग्विश्ड है. राइट, ये क्लोरोप्लास्ट फोटोसिंथेसिस परफॉर्म करते हैं क्योंकि इनके अंदर क्लोरोफिल होता है. जब ये फोटोसिंथेसिस परफॉर्म करेंगे तो दिन में ये खुलते हैं और रात को ये बंद होते हैं. जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस ओनली इट ओपन्स इन द डे एंड क्लोजेस इन द नाइट. Opens in the day, photosynthesis takes place, closes in the night, photosynthesis does not take place. So very important question. Okay, and moreover it has the central green, as here you can see a green dot. These thick green structures, these green structures are nothing but they are the nucleus. They are the nucleus. Okay, well, this is the structure of the guard cells. And these guard cells are further be surrounded by a special type of cells which is called as subsidiary cells. Subsidiary cells. So these cells, as you can find here from here to here, these cells are termed as subsidiary cells. Okay, now let us talk about little bit functioning of stomata, how it opens and how it closes. What happened during daytime, the light fall on the guard cell, and guard cells have chloroplast. This chloroplast, this is the chloroplast. Now this chloroplast has various small structures that is called as thylakoid. Right. So during daytime, whenever light falls on the chloroplast, the chlorophyll which is present in the chloroplast absorb the light and perform photosynthesis. As a result of this photosynthesis, the concentration in the guard cell increases. The concentration in the guard cell increases. Okay, so suppose this is the guard cell and here the molecule concentration increases. Why increases? Because of photosynthesis. Due to increase in concentration, the water molecule from subsidiary cells, these are the subsidiary cells, the water molecules which are present in the subsidiary cells, these subsidiary cells comes inside, the water comes inside the guard cell, which make guard cell more turgid, and as a result the guard cell open. As a result, guard cells open. Okay, right. And in the night time, no photosynthesis takes place. So again, there is a reverse phase. The water will go into the subsidiary cells and the guard cells shrink. सिमिलर, जस्ट वेरी सिंपल, जैसे कि आप लोग एक बलून, होली में हम लोग बलून में पानी भरते हैं। आपने पानी भरा तो देखो बलून जो होता है वो फूल जाता है। बलून तो मेम्ब्रेन स्ट्रक्चर है, वो तो फूलता चला जाएगा और बाद में फट जाएगा। लेकिन अगर उसी बलून को आपने एक बॉक्स में बंद कर दिया या एक ऐसे एक गोल से डब्बे में बंद कर दिया और फिर उसमें पानी भरा, तो क्या होगा? पानी जितना बलून में भर सकता है भरेगा, उसके बाद से भरना बंद हो जाएगा। और जब आप उसका जो नोजल होता है उसको छोड़ देंगे तो पानी जो है वो बलून से वापस बाहर चला जाएगा। तो पानी का इनफ्लो और पानी का आउटफ्लो बलून के शेप को और बलून की टर्जिडिटी को मेंटेन करता है। सेम वही कहानी यहाँ पर भी है, ठीक है। पानी के कारण ही, वाटर के कारण ही स्टोमेटा ओपन होता है और स्टोमेटा क्लोज होता है, ठीक है। चलिए, नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रॉ मटेरियल इज वाटर. As plants are plants takes water, and this water is important. Plant take water through the root system, we all know. Okay, roots have a specialized structure. Through the soil, the water enters into the root and then it elevates to the stem and ultimately it reaches to the leaves. This process takes place by the process of transpiration. Transpiration, okay, transpiration, and it is called as a transpiration pull, right? So as a result, the water which is absorbed by the root will reaches to the leaves, right? Some of the water is used by the process of photosynthesis, and rest of the water through this stomata it rinse out to the environment, right, by the process of transpiration. Right. So water is important source which is taken up by the ground through roots from stem. It reaches to the leaves. Remember, in the longitudinal section of leaves, we have discussed about the xylem as well as phloem. So that structures are responsible for transporting the water from root to leaves. Right. Another very important component is the light. Definitely, the process of photosynthesis will take place in the presence of light, and light is very mandatory process for the process of photosynthesis. You must have seen if you take a plant, a potted plant, and you keep it in your room, okay, keep it inside your room where no sunlight is available, you will find after 3 or 4 or 5 days, slowly the leaves start shrinking, and one time will come when the plant shrink completely and the plant died. The reason is water is available, carbon dioxide is available, but light is not available. There are few activities also based on this. That activity we will plan in another video lecture, right? But light is an important source, and if you take about the solar spectrum, sunlight has various wavelength. You all have studied about these wavelength in class 9th, okay. It has radio waves, microwaves, IR, infrared, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma rays. But these all, for the process of photosynthesis, these all radiations are not important. But for the process of photosynthesis, the small zone which is called as visible light, this visible light is important. The wavelength of visible light is from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Okay, and you know Vibgyo, right? So violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. That is a Vibgyo. Okay, so this Vibgyo or visible radiation is very important for performing the process of photosynthesis. Right, and let me tell you a very interesting thing. Out of this 7 color, which color is very important for performance of photosynthesis? Green. Since plants are green, so green color is very important for the process of photosynthesis. No. For photosynthesis, it is very surprising for you to know that for photosynthesis, maximum amount of photosynthesis takes place in blue and red region. Blue and red light is very important for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so blue region, that is this section, and red region, that is this section. These two wavelength, these two light are very important for process of photosynthesis. Okay, just look at graph. It is not in your syllabus, neither nor you have to understand this. Just for the sake of explaining the wavelength of light, I have included. Okay, so here there are two regions. This is the region. As you can see here, the wavelength are absorbed by the chlorophyll. So it is absorbed by chlorophyll. It is absorbed by chlorophyll B, or it is absorbed by chlorophyll A, and you can find that absorption of light is maximum at two regions, at this region and you can find at this region. And these regions are blue and red region. This is just for your knowledge. Okay, it is not included in your examination also. It will not be included in your examination also, just for the sake of knowledge. And an interesting fact to know that green leaves are green in color, but green color perform photosynthesis, but very less. The maximum amount of photosynthesis is performed in red and blue color wavelength. Okay, right. Well, so this is all what we have discussed by the time is all the raw materials which is important for the process of photosynthesis. Now, let us discuss the mechanism of photosynthesis, right? Mechanism of photosynthesis is again very interesting. Let me first of all start from the equation which is mentioned in your NCERT book. As per the equation of photosynthesis, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide react with 12 molecules of water. In the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, it forms 1 molecule of glucose, 6 molecule of oxygen and 6 molecule of water. Again I am repeating, 6 molecule of carbon dioxide react 12 molecule of water. In the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, 1 molecule of glucose is formed plus 6 molecules of oxygen and 6 molecules of water is formed. This is one line equation and very important equation of photosynthesis. But this one line equation takes place in two different stages. That mechanism we will discuss. Right. The first interesting fact is that the oxygen which is liberated here, from where this oxygen is coming. So नॉर्मल इंसानों की भाषा में जब अगर कोई बायोलॉजी नहीं जानता होगा तो नॉर्मली क्या बोलेगा कि प्लांट जो है वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड लेता है और ऑक्सीजन को छोड़ता है. तो जो ऑक्सीजन है, ये ऑक्सीजन हमको कहाँ से मिला? ये ऑक्सीजन हमको कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड से मिला, है ना? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्लांट ने लिया, उसके बदले में हमको क्या दिया? ऑक्सीजन दिया. तो ऑक्सीजन हमको कहाँ से मिला? ऑक्सीजन ये कहाँ से आया? ये ऑक्सीजन आया कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड से. ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. इट इज अ रॉन्ग कॉन्सेप्ट. द ऑक्सीजन which is coming here, this oxygen is a result of water. Water molecule is split to form oxygen, and this carbon dioxide forms carbohydrate or glucose molecule. Okay, so the whatever oxygen which is what we are getting here, this oxygen is obtained from water. So in this process there are two reactions. Actually, if we talk about, there are two reactions. First reaction is water should split up to give you oxygen, and second reaction is this carbon dioxide should form a molecule of glucose. So in one equation there are two different equations. Okay, the same thing I have explained here, that the molecule that the carbon dioxide, this carbon dioxide fixed in glucose. It forms glucose, and the water molecule, this water molecule gives oxygen. So one reaction is this. This reaction is called as light reaction. Light reaction. That is the process of photosynthesis which require light. Why light is important? For splitting water to oxygen. This reaction takes place in daytime, right? And the carbon dioxide fix in glucose in night time, in the absence of light. So in the process of photosynthesis there are two steps: light dependent, that is the chemical reaction which require light, and light independent, the chemical equation which does not require light. Okay, how this two process takes place? Let us understand the core process of photosynthesis. So as now only I have discussed you that there are two steps in the process of in the mechanism of photosynthesis, right? The first one is called as photochemical phase, photo light. Photochemical phase, this phase require light. Okay, and the second phase is called as biosynthetic phase, also called as dark reaction. Dark reaction. This reaction takes place in the presence of light, and as a result of photochemical phase, water molecule is split into give us oxygen gas. This reaction takes place in daytime, and in night time, in the absence of light, the biosynthetic phase takes place, or dark reaction takes place, in which carbon dioxide molecule fix into C6H12O6. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? स्टार्च का फॉर्मेशन जो है वो रात को होता है, और ऑक्सीजन का लिबरेशन जो है वो दिन को होता है कि नहीं? तो एक ही रिएक्शन में ये दोनों अलग अलग मेथड्स होते हैं. कैसे होते हैं फटाफट एक ही करके देख लेते हैं. So now in the process of photosynthesis, again in photochemical phase there are three important steps. This photochemical phase was discovered by Hill, and hence it is also known as Hill reaction. It takes place in light, hence it is also called as light reaction. In light reaction or photochemical phase, three steps takes place. First one is activation of chlorophyll. अब याद करो, पार्टी का सामान हम लोगों ने शुरू कर दिया, खरीद लिया है ना. अब हम लोग पार्टी में शुरू कर रहे हैं, तो आपके फ्रेंड्स आके आपकी मम्मी गरम गरम पूड़ियाँ तल रही हैं, पूड़ी तल रही है, चाहे रोटी बना रही है, चपाती बना रही है, तो क्या होगा? सबसे पहले फ्यूल को ऑन करना पड़ेगा, गैस को ऑन करना पड़ेगा, और गैस पे जब तवा रखेंगे या कढ़ाई रखेंगे, उसमें क्या तुरंत ही हम लोग रोटी डाल देते हैं क्या? नहीं, थोड़ी देर वेट करते हैं जब तक तवा गर्म ना हो जाए, या जब तक कढ़ाई का जो तेल है वो गर्म ना हो जाए, है कि नहीं? ऐसा ही होता है यहाँ पर. क्लोरोफिल जो है सबसे पहले उसको एक्टिवेट होना है. एक्टिवेट का मतलब क्या होता है? जो क्लोरोफिल थाइलाकॉइड में प्रेजेंट है वो क्लोरोफिल लाइट एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब करता है. ठीक है, जब वो लाइट एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब करेगा, जैसे कि जो आपका तवा है किचन का या कढ़ाई है, वो एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब करती है. कहाँ से? गैस के फ्लेम से. जब वो एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब कर लेती है तब उसमें आप रोटी डालो तो पूड़ी बन के तैयार हो जाएगा, या आप तवा पे डालो तो रोटी बन के तैयार हो जाएगा। सेम कहानी यहाँ पर भी है। लाइट फॉल्स ऑन द क्लोरोफिल, एज ए रिजल्ट द क्लोरोफिल बिकम एक्टिवेटेड, द क्लोरोफिल बिकम एनर्जाइज्ड। Okay, first step. When this chlorophyll become activated, then what happen? Then second step takes place. When chlorophyll become activated, it causes photolysis of water. Photo, that means light. Lysis means breaking. So that called photolysis of water. That means a water molecule is split into oxygen gas and it liberates by oxygen gas. This oxygen is liberated here. What happened to this hydrogen? This hydrogen is liberated in the form of ions. That is 4 proton ions or 4 hydrogen ions, and it also liberates electrons. Okay, so as you can see here, as the light, this is the sun, as the light falls on the chlorophyll, this chlorophyll split the water molecule, and this water molecule is split into oxygen. The oxygen is liberated in the daytime, and whatever the electrons are there, these are the electrons. These electrons are transferred and 4 hydrogen ions are also formed. 4 hydrogen ions are also formed. Okay. When once the photolysis takes place, this oxygen gas liberates off. ये ऑक्सीजन गैस तो बाहर निकल जाएगी, इनका क्या होगा? 4 हाइड्रोजन and 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन. They will go for the third step of photochemical reaction, that is called as generation of assimilatory powers. If we talk about photosynthesis, there are 2 assimilatory powers. They are the energy currency. Energy molecules. These energy currency are called as ATP and NADPH2. Okay, ATP and NADPH2 are the 2 energy currency molecules. These 2 energy currency molecules are unitedly called as assimilatory power. Assimilatory power. Okay. So the formation of ATP and NADPH2 takes place. How? Let us see here. So ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. It reacts with one molecule of phosphorus, and then it forms ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Here it is diphosphate. Here 2 phosphorus are present. And here 3 phosphorus are present. 1, 2, 3. 3 phosphorus are present. Okay, and this ATP is stored in chloroplast. Second thing, NADP plus, it takes electron and protons, which is generated by the reaction, and this will form NADPH2. This will form NADPH2. Up to this step, light reaction is over. So light reaction includes 3 important things. First, activation of chlorophyll. What activated chlorophyll has done? It split water molecule. What happened then? Water molecule releases oxygen gas as well as proton, that is H plus, and electrons. Oxygen is liberated in the environment. What happened to the protons and electrons? These protons and electrons are responsible for generation of ATP and NADPH2. And once these 2 molecules are generated, light reaction is termed as over, finished. Next one is dark reaction. It is also called as biosynthetic phase. Since it was discovered by Kelvin, so it is also called as Kelvin cycle and Blackman's phase. Okay, these all are the different names. You need not to worry about all these things. For you, biosynthetic phase and dark reaction is enough, and if possible, remember Kelvin cycle, it is enough. So this Kelvin cycle takes place is light independent reaction. That means it does not depend upon light directly. Whatever light which comes in the day, it falls on the chlorophyll, it generates assimilatory power in the day reaction, in the light reaction. That molecules ATP and NADPH2 is important for generation of sugar molecules. So let us talk about here. For example, one molecule of carbon dioxide is present here. This one molecule of carbon dioxide is going to form sugar, and this sugar is C6H12O6. One more interesting fact to know, that one molecule of carbon dioxide, and here there are 6 atoms of carbon. In one molecule of carbon dioxide, how many atoms are present? 1. Here only one atom of carbon dioxide is present. But in sugar molecule, how many atoms are present? 6. Here 6 atoms are present. So this Kelvin cycle has to go 6 times. Then only one molecule of glucose can be formed by using the carbon dioxide molecule. Okay, now remember the reaction. There you have written 6 carbon dioxide, 6 CO2. Why 6 CO2? Because of this glucose, 6 CO2. Understand? And this process requires energy. This energy is we already have formed, that is ATP and NADPH. These two are acting as a currency of energy, and this currency of energy is used by Kelvin cycle. Right? So the process of photosynthesis, again, if I recap this, the process of photosynthesis can be summarized in this way. Let me begin from the starting. First of all, light will fall on the thylakoid. Thylakoid has important molecules which is called as chlorophyll. These chlorophyll molecules trap light energy. When the light energy is trapped, it gets activated. As a result, it splits water into oxygen, and it generates molecules like ATP and NADPH. When the molecules of ATP and NADPH are generated, these two molecules are used in the dark phase, and in the dark phase, in the absence of light, carbon dioxide uses ATP and NADPH2, undergoes a cyclic process which is called as Kelvin cycle, and ultimately leads to form a sugar molecule or glucose molecule. Okay, so this is what is the process of photosynthesis. I hope I have made myself very clear, though it is a little bit complex process, but I know my students are very intelligent. If you go 1 or 2 times about this topic, you could able to understand all the mechanisms. And while writing biology answer in CBSE board examination, remember to include the chemical equations. These chemical equations are much scoring for you. Okay. So definitely there I am leaving you with some of the doubts. Definitely doubt will be there, doubt must be there, doubt should be there. If you have doubt, that means you have listened my today's lecture very perfectly. Keep on asking your doubts with your respective teachers, and in next class we will see you with another topic, that is heterotrophic nutrition, or more specifically if I should say nutrition in animals and nutrition in human beings. Till the time, take care of yourself, your family, keep on revising, keep on studying. We will see you in next class. Thank you very much.